Talk about it. The canceling should not have happened. This is what happens when big corporations listen and lick Trump's butthole. You're absolutely right. 100%. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So we'll go ahead and get started. If anybody don't know me, my name is Mark Willis. I run the Rewritten Path as well as the Unstuck Path and a new investigative series, Dark Signal, where I go and do some investigative journalism into dark things that need to be brought to the light. So I posted an article late last night about this particular topic, and I'll read that here uh, in shortly. But I wanted to go over a couple things first. So this isn't about liking Jimmy Kimmel. It ain't about whether you think late night comedy is even funny anymore. This is about something bigger. Trump called for Colbert to be fired, and he was. Trump called for Kimmel to be fired, and he was. Now he's aiming at Fallon and Seth Meyers. That's not coincidence. That's control. Hadn't said it yet, but I'm sure John Oliver from last week tonight is absolutely on that hit list as well. If they can silence the people with the biggest microphones in the country, what do you think happens to the rest of us? Us right here. That's why independent media is so important, because I can say whatever the fuck I want to. I don't have big corporate sponsors that have to tell me a damn thing. Tonight I'm reading my piece, The Silencing of Late Night and Free Speech, because this isn't entertainment news. This is America getting muzzled in real time. So, as most of you, I'm sure, has already seen, ABC headline: ABC fired Jimmy Kimmel after Trump called for it. That's not entertainment news. That's free speech crisis. I'm not here to gossip about celebrities. I'm here because this is about all of us as a country, all of us as human beings, all of us here on Substack. Facts. Colbert was fired last week after Trump's public demand. Now Kimmel. Also calling for the heads of Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon. This isn't coincidence, it's coordinated intimidation. If a president or a candidate can decide which comedians get to keep their jobs, then comedy isn't free speech anymore. It's state approved speech. And that's exactly what's happening. That's happening with all of our media in the news. It's no longer non biased about the facts. It is literally turning into state regime media for Supreme Leader Dickhead Trump. And at this point, I just want to throw this disclaimer out too. Whether you voted for him or not, and whether you're right or left, it does not matter. It is irrelevant at this point. You would have to be blind or ignorant to look at what's going on in this country and tell me that that man is doing a good job, that he has the best interest, our best interest in mind. Fuck no. It's his best interest in mind. I don't know if you've seen the clip that got Fallon or got Kimmel fired. He was discussing, made a comment about Charlie Kirk. He was not out of line. Uh, all he was talking about was how MAGA on the news media has been pushing as hard as they can to try to make the guy seem like he's some left wing lunatic. And then he cut to a clip of Trump himself on the White House lawn and a reporter asking him his thoughts and feelings about the Charlie Kirk murder. And his immediate response was, "Hey, look over here. You see all of these trucks? They starting construction on the new ballroom. Are you fucking kidding me? The new ballroom? And the new Rose Garden Club, absolutely ridiculous. I'm not going to go into a big deep dive on Charlie Kirk here today. I'm going to make a separate episode about that. But I do want to say that it doesn't matter if you agreed with the guy, if you liked his politics or you didn't like his politics, if he was fucked up and said fucked up things, the man was still a human being. He was a husband and he had children. And they don't deserve to suffer for things that he did and said. I personally am a convicted felon, made a lot of mistakes in my life, and ran my name through the mud. But it doesn't hurt me the same as it hurts my family and my children, which is why I'm working so hard to redeem my name at this point. But nobody deserves to be killed for their opinion. I'm stating my opinion right here, right now, to all of you guys. Does that mean that somebody that doesn't agree with me should go fucking murder me in front of my wife, in front of thousands of people? No, no, absolutely does not. Uh, but like I said, I'm gonna go into a deeper dive on that. I'm gonna kind of focus on the free speech part of this one. Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi, fucking joke, is trying to spin this narrative of there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. I agree with her to a degree because yes, the the people celebrating online, which if you have looked into really any of it, it's all been mostly kids on college campuses that Charlie had already gone to and argued with them and pissed them off. And they don't have that mindset yet to understand that he was a family man. But at the end of the day, we as American citizens, my grandfather specifically fought in World War II to give these assholes the right to say whatever the fuck they want to say. They have the right to do that. If they want to talk shit about the government, if they want to talk about anybody or anything, you have the right to do so. And so many of our great American soldiers, men and women of the military, have laid their life on the line for everybody's right to discuss and say their opinion. Now, that doesn't mean that you have the right to force your opinion on anybody because you absolutely don't. But this, again, right here, right now with you guys, I'm here expressing my opinion because this is my constitutional right. It is my fucking First Amendment right to sit here and talk about these things and point out the bullshit that's online these days. You can't even watch the news anymore. It's insane. I don't want to trail off. I'm trying to stay focused. All right. So why all of this matters. Free speech isn't just the First Amendment in a textbook. It's culture. It's art. It's late night hosts cracking jokes, journalists writing op-eds, me going live right now. These shows are the court jesters of democracy. They poke, they prod, they remind people in power that they're not untouchable. And they're not untouchable. Trump is not a fucking dictator. I don't give a shit how many times he fucking jokingly talks about running for a third term, which if you haven't seen yet, he literally, in his speech yesterday in England, with the standing next to the king, was jokingly talking about his third term. Not gonna fucking happen, dude. Not over. It'd be over my dead body. I promise you that one. If you silence the jesters, if you silence the critique, if you silence critique, you pave the way for dictatorship. And I no longer think that we are on the road to dictatorship. We have arrived at it, at dictatorship. And what really kills me the most, honestly, is the man didn't lie when he was campaigning. He told all of us. He laid out Project 2025, which is exactly what's happening, play by play. He is building himself to be a dictator. He looks up to Xi Jinping and Kim Jong Un and Putin, who's his fucking buddy, which is insane. We have got to do something as a nation. We have got to come together. We have got to stop letting them divide us. This is nothing more than the rich trying to be more rich and not giving a fuck about us or anything that we got going on. Did you guys see the new buyer of TikTok? Larry Ellison. Who is Larry Ellison? Well, he was briefly the richest man on the planet last week, which riddle me that one. I think it was net worth was somewhere around like 70, 80 billion dollars like last Tuesday. And then the next day, within 24 hours, he had almost just shy of $400 billion, beating out Elon Musk because of the stock market in his company. Fucking insane. Also, this asshole, and I'm gonna link all of these resources and articles and videos into this video when I post it, so you can go back and take a look. This man is advocating to put AI cameras everywhere in our schools, in the stores, on the streets, to watch our every move. And then he said a very disturbing thing was it'll also be on police body cameras that they will not be able to turn off. And then he said the first thing he was asked was, well, what about when they use the bathroom? He said, well, we lied to him and told him that it does shut off, but it doesn't. It's just not watched unless ordered by a court to be pulled up. Are you fucking kidding me? Like, really? Is that a joke? And this is the dude that just bought TikTok. So what do you think is going to happen to TikTok? Now, I'm going to pull up the article I wrote last night about this. I want to read through that real quick for you guys. And then we can talk a little bit more. I'm loving the comments. I couldn't agree more with all of you guys. I'm very thankful everybody is here. So the silencing of late night equals the silencing of us. Colbert, gone. Kimmel, pulled. Fallon and Myers, next in line if Trump has his way. That's not entertainment news. That's a signal flare. The kill list. Let's rewind. CBS quietly announced Stephen Colbert's Late Show ends in 2026. They said financial realities. What they meant was better to fold now than fight the storm coming. ABC went further. Jimmy Kimmel Show wasn't just ending, it was ripped out mid-run after affiliates refused to air his monologue about the killing of Charlie Kirk. And again, it was not, go watch the clip, read the transcript. It wasn't anything to do about that. It was him showing a fucking clip of Trump's own words, not giving a shit about Charlie Kirk or the murder, and pointing out his new fucking gold-plated ballroom. Nexstar blacked it out. ABC blinked. The man's been on the air for 2 decades, and they pulled the plug in one night. Trump celebrated both of these. He didn't pretend. He bragged. He posted. He said Colbert deserved it. He mocked Kimmel on the way out. And then he named the next targets, Seth Meyers and Jimmy Fallon. He literally told NBC to cancel them. That's not showbiz. That's a fucking kill list. In what reality has any of you, any of us ever lived in where a United States president can literally destroy and cancel somebody because he don't like the shit that's being said about him? If any of you seen the clip from last week when he went to the restaurant in DC and there was some ladies sitting at a table next to him that started chanting that Trump was the next Hitler, and they had him taken out of there. Well, Pam Bondi, fucking, it's a whole nother conversation there too. Pam Bondi announced that they're going to charge these ladies with hate crimes against the fucking United States president for peacefully protesting his authoritarianism. How insane is that? The pressure game. No dictator signs a memo that says ban comedy. They don't have to. They lean, they rant, they call for heads, and corporations, terrified of losing dollars or drawing fire, fold. You can already hear the boardroom logic. It's not censorship, it's business. It's not politics, it's ratings. It's not Trump, it's the affiliates. Bullshit. When a president names names, when executives obey, when critics vanish one by one, that is nothing but suppression. It doesn't matter if you want to dress it up in a quarterly earnings report. History's echo. This playbook isn't new. Germany banned cabaret. Russia arrests comedians too. Where you think he got that idea from? Turkey jails satirists. Why? Because humor punctures power faster than bullets. Mockery cuts deeper than policy papers. It's harder to spin away. It makes people laugh at you. And once they're laughing, they're not afraid anymore. That's why strong men always target the comics first. The mask of coincidence. Networks still insist it's coincidence. Just contracts, just business, just timing. But when Colbert, Kimmel, Fallon, and Myers all in Trump's crosshairs within months, the word coincidence starts to stink. And when FCC figures start dangling liability over stations like a loaded weapon, that's not ratings talk. That's a warning. So why does comedy matter? Late night was never perfect. Some jokes fell flat. Some shows dragged. But it was one of the last places where power still got mocked in real time, where hypocrisy got clowned on the same day it happened, to where after watching the fucking horrible news, the next thing on was The Late Show to break that up. Comedy is the canary in the coal mine. When it dies, so does the air. If they can pull Colbert for being too sharp, Kimmel for being too raw, Fallon or Myers for being too critical, what happens when all the jokes are gone? Who gets silenced next? Writers, podcasters, bloggers, people like me, people like you. That's the silence they want. This is how free speech disappears. Not overnight, not in a bloody coup. It disappears in boardrooms and affiliate meetings. It disappears under the label of business decisions. It disappears when networks decide it's easier to muzzle than to fight. And when the laughter dies, the silence doesn't feel safe. It feels like control. So here's my line in the sand. They can cancel all the shows they want. They can gut contracts. They can try and scare comedians off the air. But guess what? I'm still here, still writing, still speaking, and I dare anyone to try to take my free speech away. So with that, fuck you, Donald Trump. That's the end of my article here.
Great job, babe.
Don't just watch this happen. Speak out. Share the articles. Write your own posts. Support independent media like Midas Touch. Support creators who don't have corporate networks protecting them. Stress that silence equals complicity. Right now, mainstream media no longer exists. If you want the real facts, we have to support our local journalists. We have to support each other. Independent sources like Midas Touch, myself, Savage Media on here. We're not run by corporate. We're run by you guys. That's why today I have lowered my paid subscription cost to $1, and it will stay that way indefinitely. So if you want to support me and support the work I'm doing, $1 is all it takes. I just want to also touch a little bit too, to double back. I don't want to get too conspiracy theory on things, but I just want to point out a couple of observations I've made uh, through a lot of these things. So, coincidence or not, the timing of Donald Trump ship was sinking behind the Epstein files. They were not letting that shit go. Them victims on the steps of Congress out there with fucking Marjorie Taylor Greene, which my God, I never thought that I would ever agree with Marjorie Taylor Greene, but I do in that regard. And all of a sudden, this mass casualty happens. Charlie Kirk gets murdered. Well, guess what happened? It changed the narrative. Overnight, Epstein files was no longer trending. Charlie Kirk was. Now, again, week or so later, Charlie Kirk stuff is starting to kind of dwindle down in the news a little bit. And the Epstein files was coming up again. Kash Patel had to testify yesterday in front of Congress about the Epstein files. So what happens? Trump gets Kimmel fired. So now we're all sitting here talking about Kimmel and fighting for free speech. And once again, not talking about the fucking Epstein files. And you can believe me or not, but I'm telling you, on my soul, I know that motherfucker is in there. You can't tell me a man that ran the teenage Miss America contest for years that told Howard Stern that he had the right to walk around backstage with all of them little girls naked. It was okay to grab women by the pussy. His exact quote, convicted sexual assault, E. Jean Carroll, 34-time convicted felon. It just blows my fucking mind because I made a mistake in my life many years ago. I started a construction company that took off very quickly, and I had everything I thought that I needed, except for the fact that when the jobs got bigger, I apparently needed a special license to take the bigger jobs. I didn't know that. Well, I ended up getting arrested behind that for not having the proper license, which was a felony, and I went to prison behind it, making me a convicted felon for the rest of my life. So now, not only I can't vote, which is bullshit, which is why I'm here doing what I can, spreading the news now. Can't have any firearms to protect me and my family. And most importantly, I couldn't get a job at fucking McDonald's. As a low-level, non-violent convicted felon, I can't go to work at a fucking drive-thru, yet this asshole is the president of the United States. And this is not getting any better. It's only getting worse. They are actively sending military into our cities all across the country. If you're in California, you already know. If you're in Chicago or the area, you already know. And unfortunately for me, I'm in Louisiana, and his new fucking target on the hit list is New Orleans. In what reality is it okay for the Marines to be sent out to govern, to police American citizens, while ICE agents are actively fucking kidnapping people on the streets and putting them in concentration camps? Let's call it what it is. This is literally Hitler's fucking playbook. If you're not very well versed on the history of World War II and how it began and Hitler's uprising and his book Mein Kampf, which I read in jail, not because I like fucking Hitler, but for the same reason I read the Satanic Bible, because I believe to beat your enemy, you must know thine enemy. It's so frustrating to have to go through all of these things, live in absolute fucking poverty, while people like Elon Musk, what was I seen it, don't quote me on it, but there was a statistic. It was, I think it was if he gave away $1 million a day, it would take him like 700 something plus years before he finally ran out of money. And he can literally buy every NFL team, every NBA team, MLB team, every hockey team, every fucking thing in the country, and still have billions of dollars. Yet I can't pay the fucking water bill because it's $1,000 when I'm sitting there struggling because I'm disabled because somebody tried to fucking kill me. And this asshole was the fucking president and could give a shit about any of us. What's he worried about? His gold-plated fucking jets from Qatar, his gold-plated ballroom, his gold-plated presidential library. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not gonna hold you guys up too much longer. Again, like I said, I know this isn't my normal content, but I do believe that I'm gonna be uh, writing a lot more stuff about this because we need more independent media. And I ask you guys to uh, share this, write your own posts, sign up, subscribe to me. It's only $1. It gives me the ability to sit here all fucking day and sift through all this bullshit. I was thinking honestly of doing a daily news live to where I bring you guys the stories that you need to hear that not being shown in the news. What do you guys think about that? If I was to do something like that, would you join in and watch? Everybody got quiet all of a sudden. Looking over a couple of the comments. God help us. That's right. Trump ignores sex trafficking, doesn't give a fuck about anyone or anything but his people, his shit, his America that he wants to run. That's his signature. He drew that stupid ass fucking picture. Well, again, I'm gonna continue creating this kind of content. If this is something that you're interested in, join me. I'm gonna start posting every day uh, with content like this. And like I said, the goal would be to go live once a day, 30 minutes to an hour, and basically talk about the news and the stories that the people need to hear because there's so many things. People are stuck in their own algorithm bubble. And that's really what happened during the election is uh, once you start biting on a few videos and liking a couple of comments, well, the algorithm picks up on that stuff and it just pumps you more and more and more of the same bullshit and it cuts out everything else. And before you know it, you're not getting any of the real facts anymore. You are solely getting what they want us to see. And that's not good for everybody. That's not good for us. It's not good for the country. It's not good for the world. Just want to end by saying again with the Charlie Kirk situation, vehemently disagree with the man on multiple topics. And I wish I could have had the opportunity to debate him, but the man didn't deserve to die. His children didn't deserve to grow up without a father, and they surely don't deserve to be hassled by paparazzi and all these crazy fucking wackos out there. Think about your own life, your own family, your own friends, and how you would feel if that happened to one of them. That should be your reaction. Think about how you want to be treated, how you want to be perceived and heard and understood. and give that same courtesy to everyone around you, whether you disagree with them or not. Because when you show respect, you get respect. When you act like a fucking asshole, that's what you get back. And we all have to do better with that, including myself. It's a crazy world we are living in right now. Not even just with politics, with everything. It's in the air. I feel it. I know everybody else can feel it. And it's been since COVID, since 2020. It's like we jumped in this whole fucking new timeline universe of just the craziest, unprecedented shit happening on a daily basis. So whether we did or not, I will be here. I will never stop writing. I will never stop posting. I will never be silenced. And I dare a motherfucker to come try to stop and take my free speech. Thank you guys for stopping in. I really appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button if you didn't have a chance to yet. If you're watching this video, post a live, leave your thoughts in the comments. I respond to every single one of them. I love each and every one of y'all. You guys are the reason I do this every day. Be on the lookout for some more content. Thank you guys. Have a good day.